Hey y'all, Joe and Catherine Faye here. What are we making?
A gumbo!
A gumbo. It's gumbo season. We'll have a big freeze coming next week, so we're gonna start on our gumbo. Y'all come follow us. This is a couple-day process with us. We're gonna make it right. First thing I want to do, y'all, is make a stock. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of oil in the bottom of a stock pot, just like that. Something neutral. All right, let that kind of get hot there, about a medium-high heat. So now I'm just putting down some chicken quarters. That's what we use to help flavor the stock. Make everything good. Okay. All right, so you get these chicken quarters. I'll grind them up just for a minute, okay? All right. Turn these over. We'll brown a little bit on the other side. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright y'all, now that they're browned up a little bit, I'm going to drain off some of this oil, this grease here from them, to get them back. Alright y'all, so now I've drained some of that grease off. What we're going to do is just add some really hot, just water, okay? I'm gonna just cover that chicken. All right, now I'm gonna turn my heat up, and I'm gonna bring that to a boil, okay? So I just wanna make sure these chicken pieces were cooked before I went to this next step. Because these are pre-cooked, these are some old, about 3 pounds of crab claws, blue crab claws. I'm gonna bring that up to a boil real quick before I pour these in there. And these are frozen, just save them from your bowl, it's the best kind. All we're trying to do is add that good flavor to make us a stock here. So, there we go, so that comes up to a boil. We'll add that, about 3 pounds of those good crab claws. Now, stir that in a little bit. Y'all, I'm gonna cover these with water. Okay, we'll bring all that back up to a good simmer. Also, y'all, at this point, I've got some crab bouillon that I dissolved here in about a cup of water. This is good stuff. And you get this off of Amazon, it's the only place I know to get it. But we want to put that in there. And we're just going to stir that in, y'all. These crab claws and everything. And bring this back up to a good simmer at least. Let this simmer a while. I think I'm going to add about 3 more cups of water to it. Alright y'all, so now it's kind of come up to a boil. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to uncover it, I'm going to turn it down to low, and we're just going to let it simmer. Okay? That's the idea. Alright y'all, after we made our stock, first step we've done is we browned up some andouille sausage here. We'll get this off. Now I've also baking some frozen okra. I sprayed it with a little bit of fat, a little tallow. Got in the oven baking, but we browned up this andouille sausage here. Then we'll get this out of the pan and let this just set aside for a little bit, okay? We'll go ahead and get this out. I'll come right back to you and leave that grease in there. All right, now to that hot pan with that grease already in there, I'm gonna add about 2 pounds of this Trinity. Now what this is chopped up onions, bell pepper, okay, and celery. And this has also got a little bit of green onions and the parsley. It's kind of mixed into it, so it's a little bit more. But we just want to keep sauteing this down. Let's just deglaze this pan, cook up that oil, and we're gonna cook this down, y'all. So we about to turn the flavor up to 10 here. Let me show you what we got. Got some bay leaves, got some garlic. Some of this W sauce, America's Worcestershire. Okay, we've got this wonderful Cajun seasoning right here. Some butter garlic from Oyster Bed Company. Got some of that there. A little bit of Tony's Bold, some spicy seasoning I had. I've got this great stuff, Cajun Kick Mild. I would have used their hot too if I'd had it. And then I've got some just Chesapeake Bay seasoning, some Old Bay seasoning. We're going to get all this in there, layering. Start with his dry seasonings. Those in there. mix that all around. We'll stir this, I don't know, for about 2 minutes or so. And don't forget to check the okra. I got it baking off there about 400, 425. Takes a while for it to brown bake, but we're just gonna stir this around a little bit. All right, y'all, so we've been doing that for about 2.5 minutes or so. Now I'm gonna add that America's Worcestershire sauce and the garlic. Go ahead and add that to it, y'all. Just kind of stir that in. And remember that roux we made last night? About time to incorporate that, y'all. Okay. So let's get this roux over here. I made about 2.5 cups. I'm not going to use all that. I'm going to use a bit. Let's see. About 1.5 cups or so there. Got a beautiful looking roux. Look at that. We can save that and keep using it. Some other things. We'll just stir that in, get that melted down. Mix that in with the vegetables. Oh yeah. Man, you can smell that roux coming together like that. Let's take a picture of that, y'all. That's beautiful. Okay. Now, remember that okra I had. So, I'm going to get that out the oven at this point. It's been cooking. Oh yeah. A lot of moisture out of it. Cook that slime away from it. I'm going to start scooping that in here and just scoop it. Keep stirring it in. Oh yeah. Some good stuff here, y'all. He said you can smell this okra's nice and cooked. Don't have to worry about no slimy bits or anything when you use this bake it first method. A little bit there. Probably good enough okra right there. All right, so we'll stir that in. That get right down into that roux. Let it cooking there with that. Look at that color on that roux, y'all. Isn't that not beautiful? You can smell all those wonderful ingredients just cooking right here. You don't want this to burn at this point. That'd be awful. Well, you really getting it thick right here. It's a paste. All right, now we're coming in with that cold stock we made from last night, y'all. Go ahead over here. Let's just pour some in. A little bit of thyme. I like that. I've got, let's see, about 1 gallon of stock here. I'm gonna cook down with this. And then if we need to, we can add some water to it. Okay, and we'll just stir that in. Turn our heat up here, medium high. Yes, maintain that beautiful color, y'all. More stock in there. But, yep, that's it. Perfect, use my gallon of stock there. I'm gonna stir all this in. Get it to start bubbling, bring it up to temp. And oh, it's gonna be wonderful. So at this point, I tasted it. Tastes good, put it in the bay leaves, but I need to add my secret gumbo ingredient, Sure Shot Sid's gunpowder seasoning. Trust me, y'all. This will put your gumbo, your red beans and rice, whatever it is, right over the top. So we'll add a little bit of this, about a tablespoon or so, right in there, y'all. And that'll give it that real pizzazz that it needs. All right, y'all, now it just come to a boil. This is when we want to add some good, clean Louisiana gumbo crabs, okay? You want to make dang sure they come from Mississippi, Louisiana, somewhere like that in the U.S. Don't get no imported crabs, I'm telling you. That's a beauty right there. See, it's all cleaned up. So we'll add these crabs into it. Trying to find the prettier ones. The ones with the 2 claws. A lot of times I like to bust them in half. That's okay. I'm gonna do that this time. Okay. It's a pretty one right there. Make sure everything's all cleaned up on them. That's such a pretty crab. We can bust that off there. Look at that half right there with that. This big old claw. A couple of these big claws in there. Beautiful. All right, y'all, that ought to be good. Let that come back up to a simmer, okay? Wash my hands real quick. So this is starting to come to a low boil. Now I'm gonna turn it down to about low, about 2. And I want this to simmer for about 45 minutes, okay? That's beautiful. All right, y'all, it has been 45 minutes. At this point, what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and get the crabs out of here for right now. All right, so I've got a baking sheet over here. We're just going to lay the crabs aside, put them on the side for right now, okay? Because your crabs at this point have given up their wonderful flavor, and we're going to use them as garnish later. But I need to get them out right now while I continue to cook down and cook the other seafood, okay? So we're going to do that. I'll get them out here. I'm going to rinse them off for a second and chill them down, and we will save these for when we serve the gumbo. Well, I'm going to turn the fire back up, and I want to get this back up to a low boil. All right, y'all, here we go. We're back up to a low boil. Now I've got about 4 pounds of roughly 40 count Louisiana shrimp. I like to get these ones already peeled and deveined, but you've got to make sure these aren't imported farm-raised shrimp. You'll ruin your whole dish or something like that. So let's just kind of get them all in there as easy as we can without making a huge mess. All right, y'all, I've got them in there now. Turn the heat up to almost high again. About medium high. I'm gonna cover it this time. I want these shrimp to cook. It won't take long. Remember, they were frozen, so they really cooled that down. I'll check on it in a few minutes. All right, y'all, so at this point, starting to come back up to a boil, or not really a boil, it's just starting to foam. Not really hot. See that there? So, what I'm gonna do now, add the last of my ingredients. Now, traditionally, this is not an ingredient in normal seafood gumbo, but I love adding some Louisiana crawfish tails. That's 2 pounds of crawfish tails I'm putting in there. And make dang sure those are Louisiana Cajun certified or U.S. crawfish. Do not use those imported crawfish. They will ruin your gumbo. Now, I'm also going to put the sausage back in that we had. All right, well, that fills this pot up perfectly. What we're gonna do now, and the sausage and the crawfish are really already cooked. We just need to kind of bring them up to temp. So I'm gonna stir that in. I'm gonna turn my heat back down. Okay, I'm gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes, and that's all we need. Now, We won't eat this gumbo tonight. Gumbo's always better the next day. So I'm gonna let it cool down, pour it in a big pan, and then we'll eat it tomorrow. And you can put some lump crab meat or whatever you want to in there. Oh, it's gonna be so. All right, y'all, there it is. I got it in a big pan. I'm gonna cool it down, and we're gonna enjoy this tomorrow. All right, y'all, we're gonna give this a try here the next day. Heated some of this beautiful gumbo up. Look at that with shrimp in there, crawfish, got my crab, sausage. Let's give it a try. Oh man. That'll warm me up on a cold winter day. I'm gonna try this wonderful homemade seafood gumbo recipe.